Star Citizen and Squadron 42 share a load of updates that are being worked on for their AI and NPC tech, and a huge amount of that work is starting to bear dividends. I want to summarize that AI and NPC info from the recent monthly reports here in a dedicated video, going over what Cloud Imperium have been focused on over the last few weeks and what they're focused on now in November. Let's jump in. The AI content team progressed with the vendor and patron behaviors, realizing the full flow of NPCs ordering, carrying, and consuming food and drink. This gives them a sense of life and purpose, as they're always busy doing something. Progress continued on the utility behavior, with AI characters opening crates, taking items out, putting items in. This was a surprisingly complex task, but the various elements are now working well together. Other tasks involve polishing the quartermaster behavior, making animation pose updates, setting up world lines, overhauling documentation, and prototyping food for eating. Om nom nom. They also began working in Chapter 15, which is a run-down location with a different feel from other areas in Squadron 42. The AI animators continue to refine Vandal execution animations to ensure they are perceived as strong and impactful from the first-person perspective, and are better suited to be played on the spot if an attack occurs in a cramped space, and are more believable to be deflected by a player, but they also want to allow players to escape or attack once this sort of animation has been deflected. On the perception system side, the AI team implemented functionality to allow them to rate and respond to disruptions, which are unexpected scenarios that can be resolved. For example, the lights of a room turning off or an engine being disabled. Players can use this mechanic to try and disrupt NPC behaviors when they haven't been detected, giving them the opportunity to better infiltrate the level by avoiding patrols and sentries as they go and investigate other areas or are, in the dark. Players can also use distractions, actions that trigger audio stimuli such as throwing an object, to cause NPCs to leave their positions to investigate. The AI features team said, "We had to ensure that these events are propagated out to all of the agents within the appropriate area, that they are handled by the perception system, rated against the current threat level, and that the correct behaviors are implemented to resolve the disruptions. The resolution may involve agents going to investigate the source of the disruption, or alternatively, if too many disruptions have occurred, to increase their alertness level. This means that they may take out their weapons, say specific alertness level world lines, or respond quicker to subsequent events. We also had to take into consideration that the immediate source of the disruption may not be what the NPC wants to investigate. For example, the agent may perceive that a light goes out, but would want to investigate the light switch that controls the light, and ultimately, if they don't encounter the player, turn the light back on." October also saw AI implementation of the rocket launcher and railgun handling. For rocket launchers, NPCs have to consider if the shot will cause explosive splash damage to friendly agents, and assumedly themselves. This check can be disabled using the friendly fire trait to enable more reckless enemies. For the railgun, they changed how the behavior works in cover. Now, NPCs will start charging the weapon while in cover before emerging to fire. For both of these weapons, the team disabled the standard check to see if the weapon can hit the target, so enemies will continue to fire at a target even when in cover. This allows the player to see that these weapons are being fired nearby and respond accordingly, rather than being immediately hit upon leaving cover. As part of this work, they also reviewed the existing shouldered weapon animations. Continuing with weapon usage, AI features implemented how NPCs pick up weapons and ammunition during combat. Enemies are under the same ammunition constraints as the player, requiring them to conserve it and use other weapons when they run out. NPCs will evaluate the best course of action in this situation, including switching to their secondary weapons, picking up ammunition, or finding a new weapon altogether. When looking for ammunition, they could take it from boxes or out of loose weapons, or from stowed weapons on the dead or incapacitated characters. When looking for weapons, they could get it from racks, find them around the area, or take them from another character. To implement this, weapons were set up as usables, which allows AI to search for the best usable that can provide ammo or a weapon. The team had to modify the usable system slightly, including adding support for usables that supply themselves, loose weapons or ammo, and ensuring that usable alignment positions are correctly aligned with gravity when the weapon or ammo falls. For non-combat AI, the team worked on the functionality to support NPCs moving cargo cargo from one location to another, including picking up crates, stacking them on a trolley, moving the trolley to a destination, such as a cargo hold, and taking them off the trolley and then restacking them. This sounds very much like it's going to be used for the cargo refactor in the future, so not with 3.18, but a bit beyond that. An existing prototype was also adapted with new tech to provide behaviors that can be used in varying locations to bring them to life. They also refined their tools to generate better quality cover. This included making cover generation more robust to edge cases and supporting recognition of cover over a certain distance from identified cover edges. This allows cover to be generated in a greater range of areas. AI features also took the first steps towards implementing Buddy AI that will support gameplay where the player is accompanied by one or more characters. To begin with, they made a rapid prototype featuring some of the functionality that might be required to generate conversations about the final form of what this would be and how it will fit into the game. The AI tech team did some work on AI perception. The team worked on supporting audio noise level and audio masking. Audio noise level ensures that audio stimuli that don't surpass the basic background noise won't be heard by listeners. New tools were implemented to allow designers to configure the audio noise level in an area and the type of sounds that should be considered normal in that area. Audio masking makes sure that particular audio stimuli are not perceived as anomalous. For example, explosions in a field where fireworks are tested. This allows the player to use the environment as audio cover when performing those actions, for example firing weapons near a shooting range, as to not alert NPCs. The team implemented light extensions to action areas as well. These enable the designers to link light groups to an area and automatically calculate whether the state of the environment should be light or dark. This impacts the time NPCs required to perceive a target, making it easier to stay hidden in darker areas. AI tech also extended the system that allows the visibility of large objects, such as vehicles. The AI tech team said, large vehicles can be seen at further distances, but we need to avoid approaches that cost too much on the CPU, such as doing raycasts for very long distances. To prevent this, we can now describe the visibility of a large object depending on the degree of visual angle, basically at which distance it has a specified size from the observer's perspective. This also allows the team to defer the discovery phase of which objects are within range of large objects. This utilizes one query which then allows each individual to correctly verify the occlusion of the object. The parameters of the visual field of view were also extended to be overridable based on the AI state, for example allowing pilots to see a greater distance and visually target on-foot characters. The team continued extending navigation links to support two main functionalities. Firstly, they enabled routing to function with entity links to allow door panels that are linked to a door to be correctly used by an NPC. This will allow them to understand which panel they should use to trigger the right interaction. Secondly, they exposed a way to define the costs of nav links based on specific conditions, such as increasing the cost for vaulting when a character isn't alerted or walking. Those costs allow the system to describe how preferable actions are from the NPC's perspective. For example, a character wouldn't vault, which is a physically demanding action, if it's not needed to do so. Work began to properly allow NPCs to drive ground vehicles. The team are currently verifying the setup of a selection of vehicles to use as reference. That's going to be absolutely awesome to get into Star Citizen. That's going to really change way missions and defense and sort of attack missions work when NPCs can, use vehicles and set up static defenses. They also set up the code to switch to the right nav mesh when driving a vehicle. They also worked on a locomotion refactor, which involved integrating current work into different streams to begin stabilizing bugs. They also experimented with foot locking during MoveNet and are currently verifying how to use this functionality on various aspects of locomotion, such as during sharp turns. They also implemented a first frame adjustment for the seamless transition code to improve the entering of usables. This will also play a specific animation at a specific location with a specific pose. AI vehicles worked with flight design to deliver a turret battle that occurs early in the Squadron 42 campaign. This involved reworking Wave 0, which will be used as the standard for the rest of the waves during the whole chapter. This includes a new behavior that consists of Vandal ships attacking the Javelin turret by picking stunt splines placed by the designers. In addition, they completed various support tasks for the designers working in different flight-based chapters. Really looking forward to seeing some of the cool sort of combat that they're going to have when we're defending a Javelin, when we're on the Javelin, apparently at the beginning of the game. Boom! That is your updates for AI and NPCs for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen this month. A lot of the development is making quite a lot of headway now. Obviously, they've revealed a load of stuff at CitizenCon, but the AI is getting to a stage now where they're starting to have it much more ready for Squadron 42 and get it ready for sort of server meshing and lots of server updates that will be coming for the game over the next few quarters that will then be able to go, bam, this AI is working as intended, or at least a lot better than it currently is, and it's going to be able to do a lot more, a lot smarter. But what do you think? Are you excited to see this AI and NPC stuff in game soon? Do you think that it's sort of irrelevant to talk about until it's literally in our hands? Do you expect once we have server meshing that we actually will start to see a lot of this AI stuff just phased into the game pretty soon after, or do you think it's going to take a lot longer than that? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And if you have not yet watched our Squadron 42 or Persistent Universe monthly report videos, then go check those out because they give you a huge wealth of development information for your Star Citizen needs. Check them out.
Hello, I'm Winston Churchill, and I use NordVPN to defend the Internet Empire. We will fight the ants on the beaches. We shall fight on the Internet. We shall fight the trackers and the malware. Whether we want to watch Netflix for another country or have greater accessibility to the Internet, we will defend our island home. At any rate, that is what we're programmed to do.
Thanks, Winston Churchill. What? What do you mean, Tin? That wasn't Winston Churchill? Point still stands. Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer to get yourself discounted NordVPN, or use the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For November, we're giving away a Crusader Spirit C1. It's a fantastic looking multi-role ship that can fit a vehicle in the back or a load of cargo, and it looks really cool. It's got loads of forward-facing weaponry and a tractor beam. As it's a concept ship though, the winner will have a Cutlass back in the meantime as a loaner. It comes with access to the game and lifetime insurance too, so bam! Even if you don't have Star Citizen stuff yet, you can get straight into the game with this. It's all you need. Just comment on any of my videos this month to be in for a chance of winning. A massive thank you to everyone that has used the join button under my videos to become a channel member, and my Patreons. You guys are awesome. And it really does help the channel. Please consider becoming one of those lovely people too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the verse.